Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on daily topic-wise news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. So the most important news would be discussed, and additionally, I'll be supplementing the news with some relevant content that can help you in prelims and mains examination. So let's get started with the topic first. Today is 12th of June. The first is US FDA rejected Bharat Biotech Covaxin proposal. We'll see what are the impact of this decision. Now the second news, Delta COVID variant more transmissible. The report which has come from the UK. We'll discuss that as well. G7 countries to pledge 1 billion vaccine shots for the world. The second last GST Council meeting for the concession on the COVID-19 items. So this was a long pending. Now, hopefully today there would be discussion of the meeting. And the last topic is why the sedition law must go. So this is an editorial which is from the Indian Express. Apart from all the news and editorial, there would be some MCQs question. These questions are based on current affairs to help you to get some important questions before you appear for the real examination. Those of you who are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe to Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, do not forget to give a thumbs up. First news, that is US FDA rejected Bharat Biotech proposal. The US Food and Drugs Administration, they have rejected the proposal of Covaxin. We'll see why they have rejected and what are the repercussions of this decision. Important for your general studies paper 2, issues related to development and management of health. So the US Food and Drug Administration, we call it FDA, they have rejected the Bharat Biotech proposal for an emergency youth authorization of the COVID vaccine. जो EUA है उसके लिए भारत बायोटेक की जो वैक्सीन थी कोवैक्सीन उसको फिलहाल emergency authorizations के लिए मना कर दिया गया by the US FDA. And the FDA rejection would normally indicate a delay in the Covaxin launch in the United States. So the first immediate effect of this decision would be that the Bharat Biotech would not be able to launch the Covaxin in the United States. Now, एक कंपनी है जिसके साथ वो कोलैबोरेट करके काम कर रही है भारत बायोटेक, that is Accugen. This is a US partner in the Bharat Biotech, right? They're having a collaboration. And they have said now the company would be looking for a full approval of the Covaxin instead of emergency authorizations. Emergency authorization नहीं मिलने के बाद अब ये कंपनी डायरेक्ट US FDA को फुल अप्रूवल के लिए अप्रोच करेगी, राइट? सो इट इज़ नॉट द केस अगर उनको इमरजेंसी ऑथराइजेशन नहीं मिली तो बाद में उनको फुल अप्रूवल नहीं मिलेगी. देयर आर सम अदर लीगैलिटी विच हैज़ टू बी डन, other reports that has to be submitted, after which they can get the final approval as well. Now, these are the consequences of the US FDA asking the companies to launch additional trials. जो additional trials हुए हैं कंपनी के उसके reports फाइल करनी है so that the biological license applications can be considered for the full approval. So there are basically some steps, some procedures that has to be followed before a vaccine is given the approval. Now, additional information required. जो FDA है, Food and Drug Administration, they have requested for additional information on the Bharat Biotech Covaxin. And Covaxin has been facing criticism in India also because उनके जो phase 3 के trials थे, उसके results were not being made public, was not being shared with the important organization. खास करके अगर बात करें Drug Controller General of India, within 6 months they have to submit the report. So this was the reason also the US FDA had skeptical in giving the decision or giving the approvals. Now, no impact to India. Talking about its repercussion, the decision of US FDA will have impact on India. So India में कोई impact नहीं होगी. जो rejections हुई है US FDA की तरफ से for the emergency purposes only. So Bharat Biotech would continue and they would be having no impact on the policies in India, right? As we two most important vaccine in India, one from the Serum Institute of India, the other from the Bharat Biotech. This is Covishield and Covaxin, right? So these two are there. This is already there. रशिया की तरफ से जो स्पुतनिक 5 है वो आई हुई है. इसके एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन बहुत लिमिटेड है बिकॉज मैन्युफैक्चरिंग उतनी ज़्यादा नहीं है, right? So India is relying on two important vaccine. One is Covaxin and another is Covishield. So every country has its parameter, because अगर drugs approvals की बात की जाए, so according to the populations, their age populations, उनमें trials होती हैं और उस populations में trial के क्या result हैं, क्या scientific framework है, उसके बाद approval दी जाती है. So as of the now, भारत बायोटेक ने अपने जो रिजल्ट्स हैं, जो ट्रायल के रिजल्ट्स हैं, उनको साझा नहीं किया है. दे हैव नॉट शेयर्ड विद द यूएस एफडीए because of the reason, the possible reason is this, why US FDA have rejected their application. Now, Covaxin hurdles with foreign approvals. If you talk about Bharat Biotech, this is an indigenous company of India. They said that Covaxin जो है COVID-19 की vaccine, they have been facing hurdle in gaining the foreign approvals. Right? Phase 3 के जो essential validations हैं, WHO ने भी इसको approve नहीं किया है, which allow the pharmaceutical company to export the COVID-19. Once you get approval from the WHO, it make it easy so that this part of the vaccine can be transported or exported to other countries, and merge coveted vaccine passport की जो categories में इनको रख दिया जाता है. So this would be another hurdle that the company can face in terms of exporting the vaccines. Now the other news, Delta COVID variant more transmissible. The news has been reported in Indian Express. Important for your general studies paper 3, science and technology developments, their applications in everyday life. So a new report that was published by the Public Health England, it shows कि जो COVID-19 की जो नई वेरिएंट है, जिसको डबल म्यूटेंट, इवन इट वाज कॉल्ड एज इंडियन वेरिएंट, उसको डेल्टा वेरिएंट का नाम दिया गया. दिस इज नाउ नोन एज डेल्टा वेरिएंट. इट्स कंसिडर्ड टू बी हाईली ट्रांसमिबल इन द यूनाइटेड किंगडम, राइट. और ये वेरिएंट अभी काफ़ी ज़्यादा डोमिनेट कर रही है यूके के रीजन में. So the latest data also indicate that over 90% of the new COVID-19 cases in the UK are now of the Delta variant. So you can see the cases are drastically increasing, and the reason cited is because of the new variant that is called Delta variant. We have Alpha variant as well. Now as per the report, जो Delta variant की अगर बात की जाए, this is 60% more transmissible compared to the Alpha variant, right? So this is Alpha variant B.1.17, और इसकी जो म्यूटेशन जो लिंकेजेस है B.1.167. I've discussed it several times. I think many of you must be aware of this, right? So Delta variant is dominating in the United Kingdom. Now the rapid surge in the cases during Delhi 4th COVID-19, अगर बात करें खास करके specifically India में, so Delta variant were mainly responsible for the cases that surged during April and May, so which has resulted to the loss of many people, and the increase in the proportion of Delta variant was paralleled by the large increase in the positivity rate also. So खास करके इंडिया में जो पॉजिटिव रेट अभी भी देखने को मिल रही है, that is only because of the Delta variant. So the new Delta variant is concerned, and it was declared by the WHO also. WHO ने इसको एक variant of concern भी declare किया है, VOC कहते हैं इसको short में. Make sure आप इसके बारे में ज़्यादा जानकारी रख लें, because this is something which can be asked in the examination. What are the reason why a variant is considered as a variant of concern, right? So I have discussed this concept also. If you haven't watched the video, you can check it out. Now with the numbers of Delta variant cases and the rise across the country, vaccination is the best defense that we can have, right? So not only in India, globally also, all the scientists across the globe is of one notion that vaccination is the only way out to overcome this virus. Now, G7 to pledge 1 billion vaccine shots for the world. Recently organized G7 meetings where United States and Britain is taking some concrete actions to donate some vaccines to the low and middle income countries. So important for your general studies paper 2, bilateral and regional grouping agreement. So we'll discuss the important aspect of this news. The leader of G7 economies have announced a pledge that they would be distributing 1 billion coronavirus doses, right? Vaccines, basically 1 billion coronavirus vaccine doses to the poor countries. And the aim is to vaccinate the world by the end of 2022. So this is a pledge which has been taken by the G7 economies, or you can say G7 countries. So ये जो move है, this was outlined in the G7 summit, and the focus was there by the US move, which has dominated this summit, and they definitely want US want to help other country as well. So the is designated to address the criticism जहाँ पे वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज को ये कहा गया था कि they are only securing life of their people, their own population, and they are not bothered about the other poor and middle income countries. Now so far G7 countries में सिर्फ फ्रांस एक ऐसी कंट्री है, फ्रांस is the only country that is shipping vaccines through the COVAX program according to one of the initiative leaders called Vaccine Alliance Gavi. So Gavi के साथ COVAX में alliances हैं. आई थिंक आपको इस दोनों के बारे में पता होगा. इफ नॉट, डू चेक आउट देयर ऑफिशियल साइट. सो फ्रांस इज द कंट्री which has shown a proactive role in terms of vaccine donation. Now vaccine donation की अगर बात करें, so the Britain Prime Minister has said that they would be donating at least 100 million surplus vaccine in the next 12 months. US President has already committed that they would be purchasing 500 million vaccines from Pfizer BioNTech so that they could give give this vaccines to the poor countries, poor middle income countries को ये सारे vaccines को donate करें. And other include 200 million this year. US ने कहा है कि इसमें से जो 200 million है वो अभी immediately वो transfer करेंगे. बाकी के जो है that would be delivered by the end of 2022. Now EU has separately pledged of 100 million doses to African countries and other developing nation by the end of the years. And we also know that many other private NGO, I have discussed yesterday also, that Bill and Melinda Gates Foundations and other important NGOs are working in close coordination with the government, or they are separately working to help to poor countries to get their vaccination done. Now, global minimum tax is something which was proposed in the G7 member meeting. ये formally embark करती है global minimum tax को at least for the 15% on multinational corporation जो MNCs हैं उन पे basically they would be charging with the 15% of the taxes. और ये जो minimum tax ये meant करेगी to stop companies from using tax haven to sift profit and to avoid taxes, right? So this is again a good gesture to control the tax haven and sifting profit to avoid the taxes. GST Council meeting for the concessions of the COVID-19 items, important for your general studies paper 3. So it can be asked like inclusive growth and issues arising from it. So the Union Finance Ministry will convene a GST Council meeting. This is 44th GST Council meeting, which is ongoing as I'm recording this lecture. The meeting is ongoing today. Hopefully there would be some outcomes by the late evening, that what is the result, that decision that has been taken by the Union Finance Ministry. We have to wait for that decision. Now the GST concessions on the COVID-19 relief item would be given for some of the important products like medical grade oxygens, pulse oximeters, hand sanitizers, ventilators, and among others. So if the GST concession is given, these items would become cheaper for the citizen of this country. And I personally feel these items should be given exemption. They would have no tax, right? And if a company is charging, they should be adequately fined. This is a time the country is facing pandemic. Pulse oximeter, medical grade oxygen, ventilator, sanitizer, mask, these should not be charged with any taxes. For time being, like for a initial month of 3 months or 6 months, this can be done gradually. अगर चीजें worst होती है तो उसको और extend किया जा सकता है. Now, the earlier GST Council की जो meeting हुई थी वो 28th में पूरी decision उसमें हो नहीं पाई थी. Now they would be finally coming with a decision that what sort of relief that is required. And several firms, including the multinational companies, have imported oxygen equipments and other supplies urgently donations to the state government. कुछ domestic charities हैं, hospitals हैं, उन्होंने भी import किया. So if these duties are exempted, it would be more cheaper for domestic people to buy it, right? Now, some orders from the Delhi High Court, they have filed up a petition challenging the center exclusions of import from an ad hoc GST exemptions of the material that was received abroad. So, Supreme Court को भी intervene करनी पड़ी, Delhi High Court को. Now, Gujarat and Haryana has introduced a scheme to reimburse IGST, जो domestic entities है जिन्होंने import किया है ऐसे चीज़ों को, वो अपने jurisdiction में रख करके उन लोगों को जो buyers हैं उनको exemptions देंगे. They would be giving some reimbursement to that particular entity. Now, regulatory experts are also ensuring parity in the IGST waivers. जहाँ पे इंडिया वुड हैव द बेटर पॉसिबिलिटीज फॉर द थर्ड वेव, बिकॉज नो वी नो दैट थर्ड वेव is something which is had argued by the expert. ये बताया गया है कि शायद इंडिया में थर्ड वेव हो. So this can be considered as a preparatory phase for the third wave. We expect and we pray that there should not be any third wave in this country. Now the sedition law must go. This editorial argue why the sedition law must go. Written by D. Raja, is a general secretary of CPI. And important for your general studies paper 2, functions and responsibility of union states and challenges pertaining to the federal structures. So what is important in this editorial, we'll see. So talking about the issues that is discussed under this editorial, these under the 5 subhead I'll be discussing. Talking about the theme, misuse of sedition law is the entire theme of this editorial. We'll see the background, how misuse of the law has been taking place, क्या क्या अटेम्प्ट्स लिए गए हैं टू एबॉलिश द सेडिशन लॉ, रोल ऑफ जुडिशरी एंड वे फॉरवर्ड. सो विल अंडरस्टैंड ईच सब टॉपिक वन बाय वन. So the rampant use of sedition law by the present incumbent government recalls the colonial era. So this is the law which was not framed after independence. Actually, this was framed before independence and it was used by the British colonial era to suppress the Indian citizen. Right? जो colonial administration थी, उन्होंने seditions को use किया to lock up people who criticize the British policies. Right? So it is again of the notion, लोगों का एक्सपर्ट का कहना है, why we are continuing with such harsh policies of the British government, why we are continuing with that in 21st century. Now the law has been turned into a weapon to suppress the people legitimate and constitutional guaranteed right to protest, right? Even anyone, we'll see what are the people, they have been sedited, they have been charged with the sedition. Supreme Court की क्या ruling है, I'll tell you in the later part of the video. So यहाँ पे सिर्फ और सिर्फ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल गारंटेड जो प्रोटेस्ट करने की रूल्स है उसको एप्लीकेबल देना चाहिए. बाकी गवर्नमेंट जिस तरह से इसकी मिसयूज कर रही है वो एक बहुत बड़ी कंसर्न है. Recently, a report by the Freedom Houses, that is Freedom in the World 2021, Democracy Under Siege, downgrade किया उन्होंने इंडिया के स्टेटस को from free country to partly free country, right? So this is what the report quotes. And talking about, the report also says that India is a country which is dangerous for people who are working with the journalism, right? So this is something which is not under the spirit of democracy. अगर इंडिया की अगर इस तरह से बातें की जा रही है तो बिल्कुल भी अच्छा नहीं है. We definitely need to work upon it. Government need to take this report seriously. Now background की अगर बात करें, before independence this charge were used to suppress, it was used by the British to suppress the freedom movement in India. और presently अगर बात करें, section 124 of the IPC defines seditions. कुछ स्पेसिफिक कैटेगरीज में सेडिशंस को डिफाइन किया गया है. अटेम्प्ट टू ब्रिंग इनटू हेट्रेड, जहाँ पे हेट्रेड हो, कंटेम्प्ट की जाए, एक्साइट्स हो, अटेम्प्ट टू एक्साइट डिसैटिस्फैक्शन टुवर्ड्स द गवर्नमेंट, इवन द एस्टैब्लिशमेंट व्हिच इज देयर either by words, spoken, written or visible representation or otherwise. So this is considered as a sedition, right? So this is a complete definition of section 124 of the IPC. Now, misuse of law, talking about the present government, जहाँ पे अगर बात की जाए, सेंटर have been invoking sedition charges. बहुत सारे इंपॉर्टेंट फील्ड के लोग, चाहे वो एकेडमिशियंस हों, लॉयर्स हों, सोशियो पॉलिटिकल एक्टिविटीज़ हों, एक्टिविस्ट हों, स्टूडेंट्स हों, जर्नलिस्ट हों, दे पीपल हैव बिन फ्रीक्वेंटली टारगेटेड. और सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इसको लेकर के अपने ऑर्डर पे ये भी कहा था कि जो स्कोप ऑफ सेडिशंस है दैट शुड बी लिमिटेड. और यहाँ पे जो फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच है, वायलेंस और पब्लिक डिसऑर्डर को अगर मेंटेन की जा रही है तो दिस law should not be misused, right? Now attempts to abolish the seditions law, एक प्राइवेट मेंबर बिल पास की गई थी 2011 में. Via this editorial, D. Raja is conveying this message. He wanted to say that he was a member, right, when he passed a private member bill and it was introduced in the Raj Sabha to abolish the sedition law, right? उन्होंने पास किया था अपने टाइम पे. So he is sharing his experience via this editorial. So he talks that basically this sedition law basically curb the freedom of expression and speech in India, and there are enough law in the country to deal with some external threat. फिर इस तरह के लॉ की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है. There is no need to continue the seditions law. And in 2018, Law Commission of India has prepared a consultation paper on sedition as well. So there are some other recommendations that was given by the Law Commission also. Even Mahatma Gandhi, who was again convinced for the sedition in 1992, was in the favor of its abolition. So the father of the nation was also being charged with this particular sedition law. It should be our duty that we should either amend this or we should completely scrap this rule. A possible question can be asked in mains examination, that would be asked to share your views. So make sure you have some good thoughts that you can write in examinations. Now, role of judiciary here, the role of judiciary become very important and evident. So it falls under judiciary to protect Article 19, which calls for the freedom and many other fundamental rights are attached, and Article 21 of the Constitution. Section 124A should not be misused as a tool to curb the free speech. Supreme Court has categorically said in its judgment. और अभी रिसेंट में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कुछ सीनियर जर्नलिस्ट है, द नेम ऑफ दिस जर्नलिस्ट इज विनोद दुआ. So he was his cases was quashed and the charges of sedition was removed, right? So definitely the sedition could be narrowed down to include only issues pertaining to territorial integrity of India as well as sovereignty of the country. So Supreme Court has taken some important decision by quashing the charges against Vinod Dua, and this would again set a landmark for the other journalists working. Now, what is a way forward that you can conclude if you're writing in the mains paper? So there need to be have a strong will for the parliament to get rid of this Dacourian colonial era law, which aims to suppress the dissent of the people. However, the sections say that should not be misused as a tool to curb the speeches. If someone is giving a speech, if they have their expression, if they have their opinion about the government, this cannot be categorized under seditions, right? They have the right to speak against the government, right? Until and unless he is not threatening, there is not a national threat about from his speeches. So the definition of sedition should be narrowed down in not only including the issues pertaining to territorial integrity as well as sovereignty of this country, right? So these type of point you need to write in the examination when you are concluding your answers. Now, moving to the MCQs question of the day, before I proceed with the question, just to tell you the answers of yesterday questions. So for the first question, the correct option is C, and for the second question, the correct option is B. The today question of the day, that Making Peace with Nature report has been recently published by United Nations Environment Programme, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, Food and Agriculture Organization, Worldwide Fund for Nature. Which among the following is the correct option? You have to choose and write that in the comment section. You can write A, B, C, D, or you can directly name the organization. Second question, consider the following statement about VLSRM SAM. It is indigenously designed, developed by the DRDO. It is capable of neutralizing various aerial threat, close range, including the sea skimming, right? So science and technology questions are again very relevant, frequently asked in examination. Make sure you know the correct option. If you know, do let me know in the comment section down below. So this was all about the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQs questions. If you have any other concern, do let us know. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Wish you all the best. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you so much.